Yo, what's going on? And welcome to some Wolcen. It is a new ARPG. If you haven't heard of it, it's very similar to like a Diablo or a Path of Exile. And we've been playing a whole lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently, so this is what I've been playing in my free time. And I just finished up the story. It was pretty fun, but I felt like I didn't really want to make videos on it. But now we're at the end game and we can just kind of level and have some fun, figure out what our build is actually going to turn out to be. Because I heard that there's only like one build that anyone does in this game at the moment, and I am not doing that build at all. I've just been making it up as I go. And this game has made me want to maybe re-look at some of the ARPGs I played in the past. I never really liked Path of Exile, but I played through all of Diablo 3 at some point years ago. And maybe I would play it again, but the problem is I don't think I'd have to rebuy it, I think, because it was on my Xbox 360 and it wouldn't transfer over to Xbox One. So I'd either have to pull out my 360, which I don't really want to do, or I'd have to get it again, which I might be willing to do. It just depends. But yeah, I've been playing this game. I'm not sure how much more there is to do now. We've unlocked like this whole city manager thing where we gotta build all of these different structures and stuff. But the only way to actually build them is to do missions. So we got two different types of missions. I haven't tried either of them yet. I think this mandates board is supposed to be a lot easier than this expeditions map. So I think we're going to start with a mandate, and that should help us make some progress, and then we'll go from there.
There's a good kid. Off with you.
Oh, the portal. I was like, isn't there something supposed to happen when we hit yes? So let's go ahead and go into the portal. So my current build, you can see I have double pistols. I actually didn't even see those enemies. I just started shooting. But my build is that, first of all, each pistol shot fires 2 projectiles, so I split my projectiles in half, which cuts each of their damage in half, but it gives me 2 projectiles. Now, each projectile can apply ailments, and I have a few different ailments that I can apply that do damage or CC the enemies. And you can also see that my bullets bounce between the enemy. So this allows me to clear a lot of big big areas very quickly. And I have no idea how good this is compared to the actual like good build, but it seems like it does the job. And I'm working towards getting some other abilities, because if you look up in the top left here, I'm only level 41. And you get like 1 skill point, 1 passive skill point every level. So I only have 41 skill points at the moment, and the max level is 90. So I think you can get up to like 91 skill points, because I think there's other ways to get like 1 or 2 extra skill points. So I'm not even halfway through my build, so I think that this build could be like really good. It just is going to take more investment. And right now, because we can look at the passive skill tree, it's actually really big and complex, but it's got like this whole wheel system where each wheel can spin. Now, since I have it already like laid out where the paths kind of go into each other, I can't actually spin a lot of them. I think I could spin the outside one because I have it unlocked. So you see, as long as they connect, then you can spin them however you want. I think I wanted it like this for a specific reason. But yeah, you can spin this wheel any way you want to get certain abilities and such. So the bigger circles are going to be like a special ability that does something, while the smaller circles are going to be like give you health, give you damage, give you whatever. So I've mainly been going for big circles at the moment. This is the next one that I'm going for. And then after I get all the big circles that I want, I'll fill out getting all the other stats that'll just greatly increase our damage and other base stats like health and attack speed, crit chance, all that. But first I want to get all the actual ability-like things that make the build work. And there's a lot of enemies spawning at the moment. All we're trying to do, I guess, at the moment is kill Elder Justicars. Now we don't have to go so slow and kill every enemy. We can see on our map, I guess it doesn't show it on this map, but up at the top right, it points us where the Elder Justicars are. So that's where we're gonna want to go. Now if we look at our abilities here, we got a turret, which I've made so it auto-targets people. So, because normally the turret just shoots straight, but you can get it to target people. What did we just get? Oh, we got a die. Go ahead, just turn that on. And then my next ability here, I run up to someone and it makes them vulnerable to damage, as well as I have a buff on that ability that makes them more susceptible to ailments. So that works really well on bosses, because my damage is very... Ooh. I just killed myself because that guy put up a shield and reflected all my bullets into me. You gotta be careful for that. Then we got some potions. Okay. That's the second time I've killed myself on this guy.
They're gonna need more than that to take me down.
This guy is too powerful. Is this one of the Elder Justicars? Is that why this guy's so hard?
I did it.
It might be. Alright, so we can only die 3 times, so we should probably not die anymore. Or I think we have one more revive. So we should probably be wary of dying. I really hate those shield guys. That's been the biggest bane of the build that I'm doing so far, is they just reflect all of your damage and then you die. And since I deal a lot of damage and don't have a lot of health, I tend to kill myself very quickly, which is a problem. Alright, so we were going through the abilities. So our next ability, because we have the one that increases damage, our next ability is like a jump, and it throws a little clone over there that takes a lot of aggro. What else does it do? It does a whole bunch of other stuff, just because of all the buffs on it. Because you can click on your skills, and as you level up your skills, you can give them more augments. So like, if I'm CC'd, I could use this ability and it'll immediately break me out of my CC. If I hit an enemy with it, I get more movement speed. It leaves that decoy that we saw. Also, the skill costs rage, so if I hit people with it, it gives me rage back, and I lowered its cooldown and increased its distance. And then our next skill here, let's find an enemy. It'd probably be best used on an actual enemy. So we got these 2 rockets, which is originally a grenade launcher, but I have modified it to be rockets, which increases the damage but lowers the splash radius. But then I also increase the splash radius and increase the damage even more. So they're very potent rockets. I don't use them too much, mostly because the build is based around auto-attacking very heavily, but it is my highest damage thing. Like, the rockets are gonna do way more damage than my auto-attacks. And if we're point blank on someone like that, it works very nicely. So a lot of these things I'm just popping immediately. That solar fall thing that we just got is a skill, but I already have the skill, so it just gives me a currency that we can use to either reset our passive points or buy things. And then the dies have just been unlocking dies because I don't have that many dies. And that's all for cosmetics. And then we do have one more skill, which is this here. It drops like a shadow cloud, and I drop all of my aggro as well as becoming invisible. And then that's all the abilities I have so far. You have the opportunity to unlock a 5th ability slot, which I haven't unlocked yet because you can only unlock it through the end game by building a specific building. So that's kind of what we're working on at the moment. And we found a pistol. I am very interested in all pistols. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, I already have this die. Alright, well, we'll keep it there and sell it later. So this pistol might actually be pretty good. How I've been looking at a lot of my weapons and stuff, since this is a pure damage build, I mostly just look at my average damage for now, since we're not even max level and I don't need to really worry about my other stats too much. So this pistol is really good compared to what I already have. It's going to add 24 to 47 fire damage. So I'm going to go ahead, because we have 2 pistols, so I'll equip it in the first slot and see what happens to our average damage over here. It's going to go up by about 70. So if we equip it in the other slot instead, it's going to go up by even more than that. So we're going to go with this here, and this old pistol is going to go now. Or we'll sell it eventually once we get back to the city. So we have a boss here. This appears to be the Elder, maybe? No, he's just a... Oh, this is not the boss. The boss is still up there. So that's the boss. And we did just level up, but we kind of don't have time to actually level until we finish this guy. Okay, we gotta be careful now, because this guy's got his stupid shield up. Alright, I don't know what he's doing on the other side of this rock, but it's very distracting. Okay, we gotta be careful. If he shields up... He also has his own gun. Ow, my bullets do so much damage to myself. They actually take out my entire shield and like 1/3 of my health, which means I'm doing about half of my health and damage every time I hit myself. I don't know how we deal with these guys. This seems like a really bad mission for me. Okay, so now he's actually broken, which gives us a chance to do some damage for a second. Ah, this guy's annoying. So you can see he has like some bars under his health bar. One of them is like a shield, while the other one is the like break bar. That once you lower that bar, he gets temporarily stunned and you have a chance to do some damage to him before he can move again. So there's nothing actually up here. So let's go ahead and level really quick. So first of all, when you level, you get 10 attribute points, which you can put in any of these 4 skills. Toughness is going to give you health and shield. Ferocity is going to give you crit chance. Agility is going to give you attack speed as well as casting speed. And then wisdom, what does wisdom do? It increases your ailment chance. So mainly I started out this build with going attack speed. So we have quite a bit of attack speed, but then I've switched over to going pretty much exclusively crit, because crit is going to scale really well into the late game. Plus we're about to get, I'm working on getting, oh, I didn't actually do my passive skill. Okay. Is there any enemies? I don't want to die while we're getting our passive skills. So now we're going to look at this. I'm working on getting this node over here that whenever we crit, our attack speed is going to go up by 75%. So if we have a high crit chance, we're going to inherently increase our attack speed. So we're only 2 nodes away from that one. And then I think there's still a few more nodes that I want to get on there, but then we're getting pretty close to what I want this build to be. And 75% attack speed is a lot. Ow, this guy inflicted like rend on me. Are you... kidding me?
Finished yet.
I went to auto attack for like 1 second, and he just murdered me. Alright, okay. Probably shouldn't have put the turret down, huh? Man. Alright, this stuff is gonna be difficult, especially if we get missions
The purple phoenix.
where the enemy that we have to fight just hard counters my build. What are we killing now? We're killing railgunners. Railgunners we could do. It just happened, like, there's only one enemy in the whole game that has shields. And it's that Justicar. And it just happened that our mission was to kill multiple bosses of the Justicars. And then my turret killed me by shooting into the shield. I probably just shouldn't have put the turret down, but... Wait, what killed me there, though? I guess this barrel exploding behind me killed me? Oh boy. This whole endgame stuff is a lot harder than the other stuff was. Yeah, we might need to be a little bit more defensive. By that I mean more defensive stats, not play more defensively. What are you shooting at, turret? Also, I was using a lot of frost damage in the past, but my new weapons don't have as much frost damage, and frost damage, like, freezes them. Now I have mainly, like, electric and fire damage, which doesn't freeze them, unfortunately. So I end up with enemies getting to me a lot easier. I thought that was something else, but we'll take the gold. Whoops. So yeah, I might want to add more frost damage to my build again. And we also, like, a basic skill that we've been using that every character has, excuse you, is the dodge roll. Can you not? Okay. I mean, it's really cool that he just, like, pulls me to him with an undodgeable move over and over. That's like nice and all, but okay, I wasn't even in that one. Alright. Apparently that said he hit me. I would disagree, but so you can see that a lot of these enemies are gonna be very tough, I guess. We did manage to kill him. I don't know if we can do a lot of these missions with this build. This build just might not be powerful enough. I wasn't really having troubles before, but now I feel like I'm having some problems. You give us a whole bunch of crit chance. I feel like that's not better than either of the things we have, though. We need to kill like 8 of these railgunners. Holy potatoes. I feel like our single target damage just isn't there. So it's gonna make it a lot harder to kill a lot of these bosses. But like our crowd control here seems real good. Which is why I need that node that's going to increase my attack speed. Because I'm almost always critting. Like, I have a 50%, like a 40% crit chance or whatever. But since I'm firing so many bullets, and they're even bouncing off of things, we tend to crit a lot. Hey, we got him. And you can see also when we pick up a new item, we get the blueprint for it, so we can make any of our gear look like a different piece of gear that we picked up. Which is nice late game once you have like the armor and stuff that you want, but it might not look the way that you want. You can make it look like anything else. At least that doesn't one-shot me, but still. Alright, and you can see on the map, whenever we have like those skulls, it indicates that there's tougher enemies over there. So usually you want to go to the tougher enemies, because they will have better rewards. And I just like stopped picking up all blue and white items. I just pick up yellow items because they're not always going to be better, but they sell for a lot. So at least we can make money. And the merchant, like the normal merchant that you use in this game, is actually pretty good. Like every once in a while he'll sell you upgrades, and his shop updates pretty regularly. It's like every 15 minutes. So you can always, like, every time you go to town, there's a chance that he might have an upgrade for you. I'm sure once you have like super end game gear, he'll stop having upgrades. But even now, when I have like the yellow gear, he can have an upgrade for me of his own yellow gear. So I always check and see if he has something good. Got a new dye. We should probably check these gloves. We have a whole bunch of different gloves. Those probably don't give more damage. Those don't look like they give more damage, but these do. Not on that slot. Nope. They don't give us more damage on either of our slots. And this here is a curse chest. Not this one, but the other one. So we'll go to this one first. Where'd that thing go? Go ahead, use that, get some primordial affinity. So this is gonna spawn a whole bunch of enemies.
I can't do that.
Oh, I was in the middle of my dodge. Okay, I am stuck. I didn't actually mean to press this button, but I guess as good a time as any to... I'm stuck, though, is the problem. There we go. So, this here is... I forget what it's called. I died, apparently. So what is this thing called? I can't remember. Aspects of the Apocalypse. So we have like these different ultimate forms that we can use, and they kind of make us invincible. I'm not really sure how we died. I guess we died before we used our Aspect of the Apocalypse, or we had like 1 health left. So we're going to do something that's not the mandates, because that's not really working out for us. Do we want to make it harder?
Let me guess. You want a contract?
Probably not. Let's just try a normal one, because we have not been having any luck at the moment. Okay, so this should be a lot easier. We're not actually killing... I thought these would be harder, but it's probably only harder if you actually put like difficult modifiers. Here, all we're doing is we're just killing a whole bunch of enemies. And it looks like these enemies are only level 40. While the other enemies that we were fighting were like straight scaled to me, and so they were level 42. This is one of the first legendaries I think I've gotten to drop in the game. I even just got an achievement, so it must be the first legendary I've ever gotten to drop. Like you can see I have some legendaries, but they're all quest rewards. So, but unfortunately we don't have a staff build, so that's not gonna help us. Excuse you. So we have that bar on the right side now that's going to tell us how many, like how close we are to killing enough enemies to actually leave. Ouch. There's a lot of real creepy bugs in here. But our build seems to be dealing a lot better with this than it was dealing with the difficult enemies on the other game mode. Okay, but that guy might be a difficult enemy on this game mode. Okay, we actually broke him. We might be able to kill him here. Nope. He's coming. Kill him. Nice. The turret's also nice because it draws some aggro. So it gives me a chance to, like, shoot and do what I want to do. And then we need to make use of our other skills better. Like I said, I haven't really played an ARPG in a while. So I'm not really used to the playstyle that much. Oh, hello. And we also got these gems that we're picking up. I like to put them over here, and they fit into these sockets that various items have. Right now I don't really have a whole lot of stuff socketed just because we're not really at end game. Like, we're at the end game, but we're not at the max level. Aspects of Apocalypse. So this will go ahead and fill up my Aspect of Apocalypse meter. So there down in the middle, once it's full, you can actually cast that ability that we used earlier. And generally you want to use it for like boss fights or really difficult situations. Obviously I accidentally pressed it because I was trying to use a potion. And we ended up dying anyways, because I didn't actually get to use the potion then. Because once you go into it, I don't think you have a health bar anymore. You're just kind of invincible for that amount of time. Alright, so we got another cursed chest. I think we can do this one. I guess I don't have an upgrade that I meant to get. Yeah, I want to get this, but at the moment I don't think I can because I need a lot of these. And it would take me 3 points. You can see down here at the bottom right of each skill, it says how many points it costs. I'm currently using 7 of them. I could probably get rid of some of these, but I don't have enough to get me 3 points at the moment. And what that one would do is whenever I find like a weak enemy, I could just use it on the first enemy. And when he dies, it'll spread to the other ones around him. So then I don't have to exclusively use it on the stronger enemies in a pack and like be in a bad situation. I could just use it on something bad and let it spread to the stronger stuff. So we're just killing enemies, so it doesn't matter what way we go, unlike the other map where we had to hunt down specific targets. We're just trying to find anywhere where there's enemies. Hello. Where did you come from? We got people behind us. So that distraction actually works very nicely. They kind of just stop chasing. Ooh, okay, this guy's gotta be tough.
Not right now.
Hey, we broke him. He wasn't that tough. Alrighty. I hear more bugs. More little buggy dudes. I feel like this is more my speed at the moment. The other thing seemed significantly more difficult than I thought it would be. Hopefully we could get our 2 levels soon and get that next node that I wanted. And then we'll see where we're at for actually killing like difficult enemies. Because that's going to significantly boost our single target damage. Because the attack speed lasts for 3 seconds, but since we're shooting so much, we're probably refreshing it before those 3 seconds actually ends. So we pretty much would expect to have a permanent increase of 70% attack speed. What do we get here? A catalyst? Everyone pay attention to the decoy. Here we go. That's what you like to see right there. Just everyone in a giant group, all the bullets bouncing around between the group. It's a good time. We want this chest. Give me your things, chest. You had nothing. That's okay. So you can see that guy was like electrocuted as he was walking at me. That's the lightning ailment. I believe it just does damage. Like the fire and electric ones just do damage. There's a toxic one and a rend one that I believe also just does damage. But then there's other ones like the frost one. I think the shadow one also does damage. Can we look at it? Oh yeah, here. So if we're on a weapon, we see material is on the left. So there's 3 different types of damage: material, elemental, and occult. Material is physical, rend, and toxic. Elemental is fire, frost, and lightning. And occult is sacred, shadow, and aether. And I believe, I can't remember which, either the sacred or the aether applies some debuff called stasis, which is a lot like a stun. And like each debuff has things that will trade shrine. Oh, can we just sell things while we're going? I guess so. So let's just go ahead and sell a whole bunch of stuff. I think most of this stuff I'm not actually gonna need. We could check those boots, see if they do more damage. We should also check those boots. That's not gonna help us. Don't need that warhammer. So let's go ahead. Oh, that's not how we do it. Those just make us do barely less damage. Those also make us do less. So we'll just go ahead and sell all that. So where are we going now? Oh, I guess we need to hunt more enemies. I think it just... I don't know if this just ends once we hunt enough enemies, or if we make it to like an exit, or what the idea is, but we'll figure it out because we're very close. Oh, hello. You know, that's a few enemies.
Can't manage that right
now. Now, the one other problem that I've experienced with this build is you can see at the bottom we have willpower and we have rage. Willpower is like what you cast spells with, and rage is what you cast a lot of like physical abilities with. But you can see that it automatically goes over to willpower. Like your willpower regenerates. You can only have 1 bar at a time, and they kind of like share a capacity. So whatever you have in rage, you don't have in willpower. But rage I generate by attacking, and all of my abilities require rage. I can't just attack in the air and gain rage. I need to be hitting targets. So that means I can't actually use an ability until I've hit people. But I believe there's a node that changes that. I just don't know if I necessarily want that node or not. Because this is a very heavily auto-attack based build. But it could maybe benefit from being able to use abilities immediately. Oh, hello. Okay, we broke the big dude. Oh! I'm not exactly sure who hit me there. But I guess we died. I saw my health going down and I hit health potion, but then I was already dead. That's unfortunate. Challenge the boss. Oh, okay. So, we're done with that. So where is the boss? Is he must be over by the trade shrine that we saw earlier. Because the trade shrine seemed like it was the end of the area. And that's where this little marker is leading us to. Yep, there's a new enemy here, so it must be the boss. Okay. What? That went a little bit further than it said it was gonna go. Okay, he appears to be broken at the moment. Oh, I guess we killed him while he was off screen. I feel like one of my biggest complaints about this game so far has been that some hitboxes seem not exactly what they appear. And a lot of the, like, there's like 3 main boss fights in this game at the moment through the story mode, because there's 3 acts that are currently available. And so those boss fights are like supposed to be super hard, and they have a whole bunch of mechanics and phases. And some of them, like, you get to a point where you know how to fight the boss, but sometimes you just feel like you get hit by stuff that you didn't actually get hit by, and then it becomes a little bit annoying. I don't think either of these things actually increase our stuff. So we got 2 options here. We could go to the next level, or we could go back. Why don't we go back? A better reward awaits deeper. I think we go back just to see how much actual progress we made. You've completed your first project.
Has been growing. Mojave has a sense for such things.
Or if you would like to construct a different building, click on the icon. So yeah, it's kind of like now we're building up the city, but we make progress towards that by actually completing these activities. If we don't complete the activities, we don't make progress.
The power flows through me.
Alright, so let's go ahead and look at our map. Boosting productivity. So.
My lady, you are aware of Stormfall Seekers, are you not?
Doesn't ring a bell, no.
They are, or were, a garrison of individuals devoted to the exploration of the continent. But since tragedy has struck Stormfall, many of the Seekers have passed, and the garrison they once called home is now a pile of rubble. I suggest that we rebuild the garrison, and have someone, worldly, shall we say, advising them. In the absence of a senior Seeker, I suggest that we hire this...
I actually already heard this.
As an advisor.
None of these actually seem very important. I just listened to them all because I wanted to know what each building was. I guess it replays them once you maybe reload the game or something, because I turned the game off after I finished the story and listened to all of those. But I think that's going to do it for this first one. We will level up our stats real quick. Get some more crit. And then we'll get 1 away from actually... And you can see even this is going to give me more crit, which is nice. And we'll be 1 away from getting this increased attack speed. And that's going to do it for this first one. We're going to continue this for a little while. We'll see how far it actually takes us. But either way, hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time.